Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is your Shut the Fuck Up. This is what we're going to call the Douchebagistan edition. So we're going to start with the biggest douchebag I know, Lauren Boebert. Now, just let me explain where we are here. Lauren Boebert is currently the House rep from the 3rd District in Colorado. However, she knows she probably hasn't got a prayer there in the 3rd District because Adam Frisch is actually finishing the job that he started in 2022. So she has moved into the 4th District. So when she runs again in November, she'll be in the 4th District where, let me tell you something, she is in her element there because almost every other Republican running against her in the primary has either been arrested, is a racist, or has been exposed for some other kind of outrageous behavior. And we're going to do a video on the 4th District of Colorado separately from this. But in the meantime, in the 4th District right now, we have Ken Buck, who we knew was probably not going to seek re-election. However, he has decided now to leave as of the 22nd, which is in just 2 days. That really threw Lauren into a tizzy. She's out there whining, complaining it's going to be confusing for the voters. It's only confusing for the voters if you're dumb as a stump. There needs to be a special election. And then that person will serve the rest of Ken Buck's term. And if they decide they want to run again, they'll run again in November. Even an idiot can figure this out. But I'm talking about Lauren Boebert. So she is elected not to run in the special election because if she did, she'd have to give up her current House seat, and her pathetic little Republican Party has a minute majority right now, and that would wipe it right out. So she's decided not to run. She's simply going to run in November. But in the meantime, she's now complaining that Ken Buck is resigning abruptly to rig the election against her. Shut the fuck up, Lauren, okay? You people just can't stop with this rigged election bullshit. No one needs to rig an election against Lauren Boebert. She's going to sink herself. She's already been doing that. Number 2, Lauren is out there now having her own little pity party about how she can't even go to a movie theater without it becoming a thing. Every time she goes to a movie theater, it's a thing. Well, perhaps, Lauren, like the orange jackaloon, who's also whining about the New York trial. Had you not committed the crime, perhaps you wouldn't have these problems. So, Lauren, had you not gone to see Beetlejuice and played Let's Find the Banana in a public arena, maybe you're going out to a movie or a theater wouldn't be such a thing. So you can shut the fuck up on that one, too. Number 3, Lauren's out there now saying, I can't wait for the ribbon cutting, gushing about how she secured $20 million for Colorado in water and infrastructure projects. I'd like to inform the people of Colorado about something. That money is coming to you courtesy of Joe Biden, not Lauren Boebert. She voted against that bill. She's not the only one that voted against it. There's a whole host of Republican losers touting the money they got for their constituents. Lauren Boebert did not get any money for those projects in Colorado. That was all courtesy of Joe Biden, who knows he is the president of all Americans, unlike the orange jackaloon, who is on his grand retribution tour calling for a bloodbath if he doesn't win. There's a difference between being an actual governing human being with a brain and being Donald J. Trump, the loser. So that's a 3rd shut the fuck up for Lauren. And I got one more. She's still out there on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, calling Joe Biden the most corrupt president ever and talking about the Biden crime family. So let me remind Lauren Boebert about this. She already had an arrest record as long as her fucking forearm before she got elected the first time. Her husband has an arrest record. In fact, he exposed himself to 3 17-year-old girls, actually 2 16-year-old girls and 1 17-year-old girl in a bowling alley back in the day. The 2 16-year-olds filed a complaint against him, and he pled guilty to that. The dimwit 17-year-old married him. And we've seen how that's gone. Yes, Lauren, your husband has an arrest record, and it goes even beyond that little event. And I would like to remind you, Lauren, that your son is now facing 22 counts in Colorado. So the next time you want to talk about a crime family, maybe you ought to shut the fuck up about the Biden crime family and look at yourself in the mirror. And by the way, maybe you ought to get them all together, you, your husband, and your son all together, and look in the mirror all at once. So that's the Lauren Boebert part of this. Shut the fuck up. We got one more person here, Candace Owens. Now, I'm sure we all know Candace Owens. She is the self-loathing Black woman who insists there is actually no systemic racism in America. You know, I don't understand Blacks for Trump any more than I understand Latinos for Trump or women for Trump. That's like, you know, I don't know. It's like an oxymoron, you know, on steroids, quite frankly. But nonetheless, Candy has a hair across her ass about Taylor Swift, who she says is awfully woke. She's awfully woke because you know what? She gives back to people. So when she's on tour, she leaves money for the homeless in every fucking city she's been in. But that's not what Candace Owens wants. She wants ugly, because she is ugly. She's an ugly soul, okay? She is now threatening to have Taylor Swift banned from the NFL next year because she's too woke. So I'd like to point something out. The NFL has actually done a little analysis about what Taylor Swift has done for them. So let me just read it to you here. She has brought in $331.5 million to the NFL since dating Travis Kelce, okay? And this is across all kinds of platforms, you know, print, digital, radio, TV, highlights, and social media. I'm not sure that anybody in the NFL knows who the fuck Candace Owens is, but I will tell you one thing. The NFL is not going to ban Taylor Swift when she's doing shit like that. Okay? I think that Candace Owens is a legend in her own mind. You know, she's part of the Daily Wire scene. You know, so she, you know, you can pay Candace Owens so she can fill your head full of bullshit and lies. And that's fine because MAGA's stupid enough to give money to people like Candace Owens and Donald Trump. These people haven't got a pot to piss in. And they're more than willing to elect a criminal, to pay a criminal who's continuing to be a criminal and a grifter. So Candace Owens, she's perfect for MAGA. They're just from Douchebagistan. But we're talking about Douchebagistan tonight. We'll talk about Douchebagistan some other night. And that's it in closing. I just wanted to say, I hope you folks have a wonderful evening. And more than likely, I will be back again to see you tomorrow. I thought tonight, however, we needed some comedic relief, even though all of this stuff is actual fact, because that's what we're all about. I'll talk to you later.